Every week, somewhere in the world, a new railway project is announced, a new tender is published, a new deadline is set, and somewhere, the decision maker needs to know exactly what it means. Welcome to Rail Compass, your compass for navigating global railway and metro project opportunities. This week, we are looking at, let's begin.
In video 1, I told you the GCC Railway is finally moving. And I told you there is one unresolved technical decision that changes every supply contract in this project. That decision is diesel versus electric. And today, I want to show you exactly how that decision bifurcates the supply chain, from rolling stock attraction power to track specification, and why the suppliers who understand that bifurcation are the ones who will be ready when the main contracts are awarded. 8 minutes. Every major system category across 2,177 kilometers. In the one supply category, where the Gulf's existing national railways create an incumbency advantage that most international bidders completely miss. Let me establish the framework. Because almost every supply decision in this project has two versions, a diesel version and an electric version, and they lead to completely different markets. Diesel scenario, rolling stock from locomotive manufacturers. Traction substations not required. Overhead catenary not required. Track specification for freight axle loads. Cost optimized for a mixed passenger freight corridor through desert terrain. Electric scenario, rolling stock from EMU or electric locomotive manufacturers. 25 kV AC catenary cross 2,177 kilometers. Traction substations every 40 to 50 kilometers. Significantly higher capital cost. Lower long-term fuel cost. Compatible with Gulf solar energy generation. Net zero aligned. The design consultant winning the Saudi tender in June will evaluate both. Their recommendation, expected in 2027 to 2028, will trigger the largest single supply chain decision in this program. For suppliers, both scenarios must be understood and prepared for. System 1, passenger rolling stock, 200 to 220 kilometers per hour, standard gauge. Gulf desert climate, 45 degrees C plus summer temperatures, sand ingress, extreme UV exposure. Diesel scenario, who supplies diesel passenger trains at 200 plus kilometer per hour. The market is narrower than most people realize. Stadler's Flirt diesel platform is one of the most capable, but typically built for European climate. Adaptation for Gulf conditions requires desert rating. CAF's Civity diesel. Tago, particularly interesting because Tago already operates the Haramain high-speed railway in Saudi Arabia on the Mecca-Medina route, Siemens Desiro diesel, and Hyundai Rotem diesel DEMU platforms. Electric scenario, the full European and Asian HSR capable, the EMU market opens. Alstom Avelia, Siemens Valero, Hitachi Zafiro, Hufavlead, Dagruavlead, CRRC's HSR platforms. The electric market has significantly more credible suppliers at this speed and at lower life cycle cost. For freight, regardless of electrification, freight will use heavy diesel-electric locomotives at 80 to 120 kilometers per hour. Wabtec GE Transportation ES44 series. EMD Progress Rail SD70 family. Already in SAR's North-South Railway fleet. Siemens Vectron diesel. This submarket is effectively a diesel competition. System 2, traction power. And here is where the diesel-electric split is most financially material. Diesel scenario, no traction substations, no catenary, no electrification infrastructure at all. The capital cost saving is enormous, but the operating cost difference over 30 years may be equally enormous in the other direction. Electric scenario, 2x25 kVAC across 2,177 kilometers, based on the Rail Baltica electrification reference. 1.77 billion euros for 870 kilometers. A proportionate estimate for the GCC network's 2,177 kilometers would be in the range of Euro 4. 5B for catenary and substations. The suppliers: Elecner, Cobra IS, Siemens Energy, ABB. The precedent in Saudi Arabia. The Haramain High-Speed Railway, Mecca to Medina, is 25 kV AC electrified using Alstom's catenary system. That Haramain precedent is significant. SAIR has electrification engineering knowledge in-house. The question is whether they apply it to the GCC corridor. System 3, track work. Standard gauge 1,435 millimeters throughout, consistent with SAR's existing North-South Railway and the Haramain line. This is the supply continuity advantage, as here already has a standard gauge track supply chain. Voestalpine, Vossloh, and Pandrol have Saudi references from the existing network. Desert track work has specific requirements. Ballast specification for wind-blown sand stability, UV-resistant fastening materials, thermal expansion management, and 50 degrees Celsius summer rail temperatures. Rail can elongate significantly under these conditions, and Saka salt flat ground treatment at multiple sections of the Eastern Province corridor. System 4, signaling. 672 kilometers of mainline signaling in Saudi Arabia. The GCC railway requires cross-border interoperability between 6 national signaling authorities, a coordination challenge with parallels to Rail Baltica. ETCS Level 2 is the emerging standard. Alstom's Atlas ETCS system is already deployed on the Haramain, Saman, S-Trainguard, Hitachi Rail and Saldo, Thales Atlas. System 5, communications. GSMR or next generation 5G are radio throughout. SAR's existing networks use Huawei telecommunications infrastructure, a relevant incumbent relationship. Nokia's 5G private rail platform. Ericsson. System 6, stations. Major passenger stations at Dammam, the network hub. Al-Khafji at the Kuwait border, intermediate eastern province cities, and the Bahrain King Hamad International Station, planned near Bahrain International Airport with Bahrain Metro integration. Gulf Railway Station design requires specific climate response. Full air conditioning throughout passenger areas, protection from sandstorms and dust, Arabic heritage architectural integration, and, for a cross-border network, sophisticated customs and immigration processing facilities. System 7, Sea Bridge Engineering. King Hamad Causeway, 25 kilometers across the Arabian Gulf. Qatar, Saudi Maritime Bridge. These are programs in themselves. The Global Marine Bridge Specialists. Vinci Construction Grands Projets, WeBuild, CCCC, China Communications Construction Company. Vinci built the Millau Viaduct. WeBuild built the Orson Bridge approach. CCCC is building the world's longest sea bridge in Hong Kong, Zhuhai, Macau. System 8, Civil Works. 672 kilometers of new rail corridor in Saudi Arabia's eastern province. Flat, desert terrain. Relatively simple civil profile, but extreme ground conditions in Sabqa zones, seismic considerations near the Gulf Coast, and a marine transition for the sea bridge approaches. Saudi Arabia's major civil contractors, Saudi Binladin Group, Nesma and Partners, Saudi Arkhiranon, plus international EPC firms with Saudi track records, Bechtel, Fluor, Samsung CT, Vinci, WeBuild. Now let me talk about the one supply category where the Gulf's existing national railway creates a structural advantage that most international bidders miss. It is maintenance, and specifically, spare parts and maintenance contracts for rolling stock. Saudi Arabia Railways already operates 2 railway networks. The North-South Railway, 2,750 kilometers, using GE and EMD diesel-electric freight locomotives. In the Haramain High-Speed Railway, operated under a consortium including ARENF, SNCF, and ADF, using Talgo trains. Etihad Rail in the UAE operates EMD SD70 diesel-electric freight locomotives, the same family as SAR's North-South fleet. When the GCC railway tender for rolling stock eventually comes, and it will come after the design is complete, the manufacturers whose equipment already operates in the Gulf have a structural advantage. Not just technical familiarity, but existing spare parts supply chains, existing maintenance facilities, existing train technicians, and existing relationships with national railway maintenance departments, Wabtec, GE Transportation, and Progress Rail EMD, whose locomotives already operate on SAR's North-South Railway, are the incumbents for the diesel freight scenario. Talgo, already operating on the Haramain, is the incumbent for the passenger scenario. For a new entrant to compete with an incumbent that already has spare parts warehouses and maintenance teams in the kingdom, they need to offer a compelling technology or life cycle cost advantage that overcomes that operational integration benefit. That bar is higher than the headline tender specification suggests. I promised you the one supply category where incumbency creates the highest barrier to entry. Let me be specific. Is the maintenance contract for the passenger fleet, not the initial rolling stock supply. Here is why. In the GCC railway structure, each country procures its own section, but passenger services will operate across borders. A train running Dammam to Doha needs to be maintained in a depot that serves the full cross-border route. That creates a maintenance program that is simultaneously national and cross-border. The manufacturer who wins the initial passenger rolling stock tender will, in most procurement structures, also win a long-term maintenance contract, often 15 to 30 years. That maintenance revenue stream, across 2,177 kilometers of cross-border network, with multiple countries' passenger fleets requiring servicing, is worth substantially more than the initial train supply contract over the program life cycle, and the manufacturer who already has maintenance in. Infrastructure in Saudi Arabia. Talgo, through the Haramain joint venture, has a head start that cannot be replicated simply by offering a better train specification. The lesson: think about the GCC railway not as a single procurement, but as a 30-year operating platform. The company's positioning for that platform relationship, not just the first contract, are the ones that will build lasting value from this network. 1. Saudi design tender. SAR.com.SA closes June 30th. Last chance. 2. Follow GCCRA, gccra.ae for cross-border procurement coordination updates. 3. Subscribe to Rail Compass. Next Thursday, Istanbul in rail. 127 kilometers. $8.3 billion. World Bank anchor for civil lots launching this year. And it is the project with the highest construction density per kilometer of any project in this channel's coverage. We'll show you why. GCC Railway, 2,177 kilometers, 6 countries. The design is being commissioned. The supply chain opportunity starts now.